By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here?
Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Propably embassy today.
Of course you were.
Of course. And why are our police guarding an embassy?
Why do you think?
Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu.
Also, Sheila, or whatever your name is, can you please be nicer to Kay?
Yeah, she's keeping her in a pretty tight grip there.
They called us up and asked for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years.
Yeah, because you've done so well on that.
It was a more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me.
Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose.
That god on the left there, he just looks like he wants a hug.
Yeah? Looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again.
Rude.
Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my hands.
Edgeworth!
But sir, if it gets got any more, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore.
What is your salary?
Damn, Gumshoe, that sucks.
Let's look at this dead body.
So our victim was the secretariat at this embassy, I take it? Manny Kotian? I heard said he was an admirable person. Very admirable. No, he wasn't.
So he is Manny.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Kotian was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room?
It wasn't badly burnt.
Every nook and cranny. There appears to be something in his pocket. This key. It can't be. Isn't this the Yatagrasso's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's...
7 years ago. Oh! You mean the case where I was framed, sir?
Yes.
Yes, it's a piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago, which was then stolen by Callisto Yu.
What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir? I thought he was killed with a knife. Ew!
Scruffy, at the very least, try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in. Francisca, as you'll recall, Detective Gaunchy was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made a privy to such knowledge.
Oh, I feel like the victim right now. All trampled on, sir.
I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is, you can turn it into a knife.
Oh, wow, that's amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick.
There's no bloody, though.
I knew it. It's the exact same piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. And that is a rose, or flower, you know, like the Kingdom of Alabast used, and I'm assuming the old Principality of Cordovia also used. I remember this beautiful pattern.
We kind of figured this was a Cadopian thing, so...
Yeah. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Yes, it looks like two interwoven vines, crisscrossing down the blade.
Wine, sir? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. It's one of those six-sided stars, just like the police marker on our IDs.
I really don't think you can call these stars. Say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is why the Propably Embassy's secretariat is holding this. While we don't know how Mr. Kotian came to possess this key, we do know that this was stolen by the Edgeworth from the Cordovian embassy. That's right, Mr. Faraday had witnessed that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Cordovia. But why don't you ask Ambassador Palladino about what he knows? Supposedly, he was a candidate to be the next Cordovian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. I guess that makes sense, if they were one country once, you know?
Yeah.
Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade's shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound. I suppose this means that we now know that the crime was committed with this knife.
This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This in fact screams artsy at me, too! Although it's also covered in blood, just like the last thing that I said was artsy.
What was that?
Probably something from another case. But the hand is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, it has a butterfly motif. Very beautiful. Intriguing. So obviously that's Propably, because we know that Republic of Propably uses the butterfly motif a lot.
Alright, so here's what happened. They used this knife, stabbed him, cleaned it, converted it back, and then after he was dead, it stabbed him with this knife. Which is why this is pristine, but the blade isn't.
That's true. That would actually be a good reasoning. This man. Where do I know him from?
Really? That's it?
I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
Anything else cool around here? No.
You should probably ask the ambassador.
No, I'd rather look at this.
The ceiling's fan must have fallen from the ceiling.
A ceiling fan? What does one of those do?
Really, Gumshoe?
Really?
Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that is installed on one ceiling.
Well, if I had one of those in my room, I may not go dizzy from staring at it as I slept.
Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir.
Knives, huh? Well, the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. Wait, they don't have handles. Oh, right, because they got burned off.
I guess the handles all got burned off by the fire.
Ah, so even the knives fell victim to the fire. It's terrible. I didn't think he'd pop up here.
Ambassador Palomino, are these knives yours?
Oh, why, yes, they are. They are also a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babel. I hate this accent so much, I pity everyone who has listened to it. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. Or comprised. But I can't believe the Babelese ones have been reduced to this state.
Ornamental knives, huh?
I'm probably the villain of this story.
Probably. There's a small release on the Tanger displayed. Ambassador Palomino, what is this notch here for?
Oh, that! It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them. Okay, maybe my original theory is wrong.
I have
then.
a suspicion. That knife is from the kingdom of Alabast then. And they just put a Babelese,
So that we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course.
Let's see. So these knives were constructed so that the handles could easily be removed.
So yeah, then it's likely Alabast did because the handle was pristine. Yeah. And then they just switched it out and then started the fire or something. Alright, let's get this over with. I can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is.
Ambassador Palomino, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That and only that.
Ah, but what about my hair care routine?
I asked you to cooperate, not only for your own sake, but also for your hair's sake, but for Mr. Coaching's as well.
You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating. Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these.
I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe.
Oh, no. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babel. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babel.
Wait, what? Are they trying to get the tourist economy going? Now I remember, the Republic of Babel is known for its feverish tourism industry. It's probably one of the few ways to get you in money, depending on how small that country is, or if they lack natural resources.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Coachum.
Don't forget, Cadopian was known for its, natural beauty, so...
That is true.
He was my secretary, and the embassy secretariat, charged with running the whole place.
Damn, he just got serious, look at him.
He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss for our country. He was in charge of everything. Accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures.
I'm sorry, but did you say printing?
Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So,
obviously,
in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy.
Oh, I see. Please excuse my forwardness. However, I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before.
Yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny.
So you, Mr. Coaching, is the same man as the one in that case?
Can't you tell by his luscious locks? Who do you think taught me how to do my hair this way?
I suppose I could see that. Regardless.
It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him.
Intriguing. What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations.
We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So, renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us.
Intriguing.
I am apparently rather worthless.
Ambassador Palomino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cordovia.
I mean, he is an ambassador, so he does other things.
Yeah.
His job isn't to do that background stuff. His job is to be the face.
His job is to talk with, the actual politicians of this country.
Ah, Cordovia? Alright. What would you like to talk about?
First, I'd like to ask you about this key.
What about this key?
I found it sticking out of Mr. Coach's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct?
Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly, and it stings like a bee.
That's not all about this key. It's also capable of changing into a knife.
Oh, really? Totally didn't know that. Oh! How fascinating!
Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key?
Yeah, he totally knows. In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Cordovia. The accent gets worse and worse by the minute.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
Well, it existed before we separated.
And it involves both butterfly and flower.
What he said. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still Cordovia. I still love that. We decided Cordovia is now Italian.
Yeah, it's apparently Italian. Sure. Ambassador Palomino, this key was stolen from the Cordovian embassy 7 years ago by Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu.
She's a fake! Oh, really?
You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at that time.
I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babel became its own independent nation. But if Manny was still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. Probably why he was killed.
The coach and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. That doesn't explain why I found the Yatsugarasu's key here in the present. You might have to look around a little bit more.
Are you okay over here, Kay?
Kay, are you alright?
You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right? Also, tell her to let go. It hurts.
And yes, of course I don't. And I promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like. It's only a matter of time before we take her in. It will be wise for you to give up while you can. No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true.
We literally proved our method is better than yours like 2 days ago.
Go ahead and try then. If you're that confident, I can allow this to continue in this way. I must prove her innocence post-haste. A small personal safe. This was Mr. Cotian's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Of course, it's locked. Guess we won't be able to open it without the key.
It's Q. Maybe?
Oh my gosh, you might be right.
Woo!
Yeah. We know for a fact that the Yatsugarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Cotian's pocket. Which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office.
Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
Very elaborate custom safe here.
It appears I was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth.
Woo!
What do we have here?
Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatsugarasu made off with everything, sir?
Gumshoe, are you blind?
No, Detective, I believe all we need is a closer look. Look in Granny. What is this here?
Looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir.
No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe.
Hey, you're right. It won't budge an inch, not even when I tug on it. I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on this inside of a safe before.
Hold it!
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the secret to this safe is that it has 2 compartments. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment.
What?
I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct, and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? As you can see, there is no other lock or keyhole in sight.
Have you tried looking at the back of the safe?
Good point. Actually, there's one more spot of interest to me on this safe. Oh? Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock. The same in its locks. Alright then, since you're so sure of yourself, show me how you deduced your answer.
I'm going to assume this, then.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, connected to the key. Does the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francesca? It's a shape. It looks very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism.
Ah, but that's what they want you to think.
It's just for keeping the door shut. Nothing more.
My God, Francesca, you're terrible at investigations.
Clearly.
Is that so? The person who used this safe, Mr. Coach, and made sure the safe had 2 compartments or to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out?
Damn, you're calling her less than average. Or around average.
You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of this safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. I will prove to you right now that the Yatagarasa's key is the key that will open it.
Objection!
The Yatagarasa's key? Miles Edgeworth, this had better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. Yatagarasa's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of the safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe. But the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key, because you have to use the knife part of it.
My God, it's really a keyblade.
Yes!
And it does more than merely unlock the death.
Because if you angle
Hold
the
on
thing...
a second. Oh my God, we used the knife part to open the first part of it.
Ah, we discovered this trick 7 years ago, and will we be able to corner Miss You? Or who would have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time? Oh, not.
Wait, what? I guess it's the knife blade then? Ah!
Oh yeah, just as I said. Like you see the shape of it from above.
Ah.
Let's go with this again, shall we? Yatagarasa's key.
So the key part was used for the first one, the knife part is used for the second.
Yes. Was originally made to open Mr. Kojan's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirmed that as a fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back of the end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? Nothing you're talking... Ah! It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head-on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the key portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's... preposterous! Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Then it's even possible that what I have been searching for is inside.
What have you been searching for?
Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe.
Yeah, sir. Opening it now, sir.
If he has the knife in his hands, don't start whipping him!
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Damn.
These items.
It's a bunch of funny shaped things. I guess that piece of honor.
You want the way! Now move, Scruffy!
I didn't think I was in the way.
These pieces of art. The identicals are the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide from you. Yeah, so these are what the smuggling ring has been working on, isn't it?
Some of it, at least.
I believe a more thorough examination is required.
I agree. What's on the paper?
This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about.
Beats me, sir.
Shut up!
Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Mr. Kojan's name is written here on the last page. That looks mostly Greek. I wonder what the significance of this document. Yeah, that looks Greek. Why is it written in Greek?
It's probably written in Cadopian.
Yeah, obviously, probably. These are pieces of stolen art from around the world.
Wonder how much they're worth, especially this one.
Scruffy, don't touch these valuable arts of art with your filthy hands! Why, do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break? Is it just me, or did she hit one of the pieces of art just now?
I hope not.
To build this sort of trick into one safe is really something.
Yeah, it's neat how this safe has 2 compartments. But what's really impressive is that the other one of the key was another key. I totally hadn't noticed.
I wonder if Mr. Kojan was just paranoid if he had secrets of that greater value.
Speaking of paranoid, I once sharpened both ends of my pencil. But then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid and was gonna stab myself.
Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty.
Yes, sir.
I think we got all we can from this. Yesterday we found a key that the Yatagarasu... No, Monsieur stole 7 years ago.
This was originally from this embassy. Maybe she came back to return it?
I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective.
Okay. And what do you think, sir?
Callisto Yu, what reason did she steal the key? That statue looks very prominent. Miles Edgeworth! What is it? Let me tell you something. You're currently my subordinate, and if you wish to convince everyone else of sad, you will speak to me with respect.
No.
What's with the giddy glint in her eyes?
What do you think? A younger sibling getting to boss their older sibling around? Oh, hell yes.
Nothing that will really be necessary, Francesca. Oh, really? Then it doesn't matter. Doesn't change the fact that you are still under me. I thought Francesca was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy? Because it is tied to the smuggling case. I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess. Oh, that's right. Yatagarasu was due to appear at that embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Propably's embassy. Okay, so Lang is over there. Ah, so Agent Lang is here as well, huh? I see you've met.
Unfortunately.
Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Alba.
Another Italian.
However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is a little girl, I see.
Be nice to Kay.
Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu?
No.
Hey, with our soul, sir!
Kay, you remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago?
Ooh, is Tyrell Bad going to show back up?
That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So she's that feisty little girl.
Who kicked you multiple times.
Kay has been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here, looking for the one who took her father's life.
Is no one going to talk about the pin of the Yatagarasu on her scarf?
I see.
Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu keeps on tricking us all.
How so?
The Yatagarasu sent a card saying I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. That boy's going in circles. You know what is this, sirs? It's a breach of contract. It's going to be under wraps, cheat.
Uh-huh.
If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight.
That we know of.
I don't wonder though if Callisto Yu really is the Yatagarasu.
Look, I'm under the impression there are 3 Yatagarasus. Callisto Yu, Kay Faraday, and some other random person.
Probably.
We'll just say it's, what was his name? Ron. Ron something. He decided to stop being mask and turned into Yatagarasu.
I doubt that, but it would be funny. I feel we have to go a little bit more around and see what's around. Well, that statue seems very prominent.
Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you not please touch it? Or please not touch it. I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat.
But there is a possibility that it's related to the murder, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Miss Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We could have forced them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof.
I suppose I don't have a choice here. This has been one of the primi doc statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, that seems very weird.
Okay, what do we have in the logic right now? Motif on the knife handle, that's fine. Maybe this?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could work. Let's ask around the other people here first.
Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting the investigation beyond this point.
I'm a subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access?
My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we just do as he says?
Yes, I suppose we might as well. What about that shelf over on the right with all the memorabilia?
Actually, this clock is pretty untouched.
Yeah, why is the clock untouched?
And also that shelf is, so the fire I guess didn't get here?
It looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it has fallen victim to the fire. Has it?
Not really.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for you to talk about the clocks in my house, sir?
No.
If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but...
Well, there's this one clock that I made by myself, but the timer is... That's quite
enough, Detective.
Brilliant.
You should also line with American souvenirs and memorabilia.
America!
Fuck yeah.
It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Propably's embassy. So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir?
Because America's awesome like that.
Perhaps the Ablaze are starting American culture and our tourism industry? Because this is in America.
So what are they in the Japanese version?
I wonder if it's in the Japanese version. If it's Japanese items then.
But Japan doesn't have as much of a tourism industry as America.
Then I imagine that the text is probably linked that they are studying American culture because of the American tourism industry then.
Probably.
If they have plans to make the Ablaze tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose.
Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir. Said if I bring these with me to Propably, I can trade them in for a few buffets.
Nope, he's flying there then.
Oh, so how do you expect to travel to Propably?
We'll be going there later.
Well, the whole world's connected by the ocean, sir.
Are you gonna swim?
And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Propably if I have to.
Oh my god.
And if you simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things.
Probably.
I think it's the secret and Francisca's return. Not the motif on the knife handle. To steal your dirtiest secret? Is it possible that the dirty secret that the Atagasa was out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Francisca, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in Propably's embassy. Ah, the head of the smuggling operation? I think I just might need to ask Francisca about her smuggling case. More depth.
She's a prosecutor. Why is she working for Interpol? Like, how'd she manage that?
Yeah, that's very specific. Francisca, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you're here right now is related to that. Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. This is what tipped us off. This accounting document. It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all its details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Cordobia. It means that somewhere in the countries of Alabas and Babal is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring. Not Francisca for you. It's amazing. Pursuing this case with all that she has. Intriguing.
What are we missing?
Did you get that added to our stuff? It's all still burnt objects scattered on the floor.
Well, burnt things get burned and they become burnt things, you know.
No, because there's no way to prove that the burnt thing started out as a burnt thing.
Was it a burnt thing or was it not? I have no idea what's the matter anymore, sir.
Yeah, I suppose it's a bit hard for someone with a burned out light bulb to comprehend.
Alright, what do we all have here?
Yeah, the knife. Oh, we can move the handle. A lot of skill detailing on this handle. I think this is a butterfly.
This one amazing ornamental knife. I'm really glad that this beautiful butterfly wasn't ruined by blood.
Yeah, why isn't there's not even a single drop of blood on it. It really is quite exquisite. So much that you can even understand its beauty, detective.
Hey, why do you always have to look down on my taste, sir? I know what I like, and this is really well crafted.
Why do I look down on his tastes? Because, my dear detective, I'm afraid your tastes are usually quite questionable. This knife, it would appear that the handle is removable.
I guess some people can change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir.
I don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, detective.
I mean, we already knew it was removable.
Remove it somehow.
It's a lot of blood.
This is what took Mr. McCurtain's life. I mean, his blood is still on the blade.
I've been a detective for 7 years already. I've seen a lot of weapons in my days. But knives that were used to kill are always the hardest for me to bear.
Yeah, so like guns, this is one weapon where you are likely to find the victim's blood on it.
I just like how this one's practically drenched in it, huh, sir?
But the fact it looks like the blood managed to miss the handle somehow. Can we read the document?
It's in another language. Oh dear, blah blah blah. I think this is all just lame, but... Oh dear, if people were to find out that a murder occurred at our embassy, the number of tourists would plummet, as would our revenues. It'd be a disaster! What are we going to do?
You does seem worried. Perhaps I should refrain from bringing this up. Can you read the letter? Ambassador Palomino, I was wondering if you might have some thoughts on this.
I think that you would know more about the case than I. So let me make it up to you for not knowing anything about that with these coupons!
More coupons? Thank you. However, I feel I must decline.
Boo! This statue resembles that hero, the Steel Samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the Steel Samurai statue? It just might attract a few more tourists to our country if I did, right?
Okay, so they would be willing to just rewrite their history and national treasures for tourism? Okay.
It's a money.
I'm not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure. Wait, can we do something with the new paper with those documents inside the safe? But she said it was like the first page, right? We can probably do something there. Yeah, so, yeah, you can see, we're missing one page there. And we have that one page, I think. So we can deduce. And we have that page, which is 2 of 3. Eureka! Take a good look at these documents, Francisca. It says that there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3? Well, it certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. It seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, and with this, it has become crystal clear that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Ablaze Inc. Ablaze Inc. Ablaze Inc. is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported. Hold it! And that reason is... That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Okay.
I'm assuming it's based on something it's made out of being, like, endangered or something? Like, you can only get so much of a pot of it at a time.
Probably, or it has
without, like, destroying it.
Or it has special properties, being good for, like, spy stuff. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was in an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. It's so frustrating. I was the person I was to rain judgment out upon with my whip of justice. Well, even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested. Francisca, you must know that Manny Cochin was a suspect in the KG8 incident. Of course I know. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is a matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved.
How long is this? What else do we have to look at? Oh, the giant butterfly.
Hey, it's another butterfly!
I believe this is the symbol of the Republic of Babal.
Okay.
Yay?
A drawing to stick on the wall of an embassy. Definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism.
Well, I've got a lot of patriotism too, sir. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country.
You may want to, Detective, however, I have yet to see the fruits of your desire.
You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir.
Rude.
It's the same motif. The design of the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special Babylese species of butterfly. It does, doesn't it? As it says right here. This knife is property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime scene was found right in this room. Yay! Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be?
No.
Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu. Kay Faraday. You're under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin.
No, I want to hang out with Kay. Don't arrest her. Mr. Edgeworth, please, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here. And he was already...
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it. You finally let her go.
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests in Interpol mix. What is that supposed to mean? I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime. Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are.